Hello, viewers. Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. Thank you all for your beautiful feedback on my oracle cards. I was really touched reading all those beautiful, beautiful comments. So thank you so much. I'll be moving toward printing fairly soon. Get myself set up as a seller, and then I'll move. I'll be pushing that print button reasonably shortly. So they will be to you by June, at least by June, perhaps even before. Perhaps even in May. Okay, so I'm looking today at the 4 states that are going to open back up over the next 2 weeks as the virus continues. The states are Georgia, South Carolina, Texas, and Tennessee. They are red states. They are, I guess, areas where people are wanting to get out. They want to, as Trump has tweeted, liberate themselves from what they see as a unlawful restriction or some kind of restriction that's not necessary. I want to take a look at how that reopening will go. Then I want to look at, do some people actually not understand how lethal this virus is, and what's that all about? And do we actually need to go into lockdown to manage this? And what will happen even after we go into lockdown and we start to slowly come back online, and then the trajectory goes up? I mean, let's take a look at how effective lockdowns are. So when I say let's take a look at how effective lockdowns are, in Singapore, they addressed the virus very, very early with very aggressive contact tracing, aggressive testing, aggressive lockdowns. They did still allow people to go to work. They're finding now that their numbers are suddenly spiking as a result of migrant workers. So Singapore's a very wealthy country, but in those areas where they are not so wealthy, you're getting the virus presenting again. So what can we learn from that? But first, let's go to the 4 states that are going to reopen. They are red states, Republican governors. They're almost like, if you look at what's going on in Brazil, the president of Brazil, or the prime minister of Brazil, is actually out marching against his governors that are keeping states locked down. This is so irresponsible, absolutely so irresponsible. It is what I will call a dereliction of duty and leadership. But let's have a look. The red states, they're going to be reopening. How's that going to go for them? I don't wish it to go badly, but let's have a look if we can see how is the reopening in the red states going to go in the US, Texas, South Carolina, Tennessee. How is this going to go for them? Show me how it's going to go for them. How is it going to go for them? All right, so we've got the 8 of Cups. So they're experiencing a lot of loss. I'm using my Witch's Tarot here. They're experiencing loss, and it's almost like lockdown is not working for them. Their focus is on the here and now. It's not on a possibility. It's not even on... There seems to be a reality that they're not tapping into. But they're feeling loss, and they want to move away from what they feel is not working for them. The King of Pentacles. Now, the other layer to this, unfortunately, is that the King of Pentacles, which is my card for Sideshow Don, that's what we're going to call him, Sideshow Don has been tweeting out, liberate these states, liberate them, liberate them. So that he's weaponizing this politics of it, and they are going to experience loss because of that. Okay, so let's that's almost, because the King of Pentacles is in the challenge position. It's telling me that what he's doing is totally and utterly wrong. It's irresponsible and wrong. And unfortunately, they're going to pay a price for that. I do have the Eight of Pentacles as the foundation of the reading. Now, the Eight of Pentacles can be work. It is the work card. But it's also the other layer of meaning is that significant work needs to be done on something. These governors want to get their people back to work. They want to get this. They want to reopen their states because they are seeing the bottom line. But in doing so, there is some sort of loss there for them. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles in the past. I guess these states, and I don't know what the economies are like in a place like Tennessee or other states. I mean, obviously Texas has a fairly big economy, I would assume. But they're not the Californias and they're not the New Yorks, are they? So reliability, they're trying to protect their economies. Getting people back to work is their biggest fear. That if people don't start working, if things don't, the economies aren't started again, then the losses will be great. However, we've got lies and deceit in as the potential future. So this is a zone that is ripe for deception. So it could be that there's going to be it's either they're lying to people or in some way letting them know that it's okay to go back to work, it's okay to open those gyms, it's okay to open those hairdressers, it's okay to open those restaurants with, the certain social distancing rules in place. They're telling people it's okay to do that, and they are deceiving people. Okay, let's have a look at what's in the near future. The Four of Swords. Okay, so this is the Wounded in Battle card. This card comes up for sickness. They're going to get a lot of people sick doing that. That is in the immediate future. The Two of Wands right now, the waiting game, having a plan that matures in time, having to wait. Let's have a look at the environment around there. The spy in the camp, they feel that this waiting is actually a plot, some kind of plot. They don't have faith in having to wait. All right, let's see what the hopes and fears. They actually fear this Hanged Man position, this suspension. They don't believe in the truth of a lockdown. Okay. They want to go back to the past. This is the Six of Cups. And they are being encouraged to go back to the past. Now, the Five of Cups sitting alongside the Six of Cups, the Five of Cups is death. It's when we suffer great loss. So this is because it's in the outcome position, because they want to go back to the past. They want to take a step backward to pre-lockdown days. They're going to experience, unfortunately, loss. Now we have the Empress card, which is the harvest coming in. Let's see what the clarifier is. They need to wait. This is all about timing. This is also divine timing as well. The Empress is a period of time, okay? They not only fear the loss of the harvest, the impact on the economy, but in order to prevent this loss occurring, they're also going to have to play that waiting game. And, however long it takes for a harvest to come in, to grow, it's a season. Maybe we have to we have to be very careful of reopening things inside 2 or 3 months. But there's also karma here as well, because the Wheel of Fortune is the karmic card. There's some kind of deceit going on here, and there will be, with this Five of Cups, quite a lot of loss. I heard someone say if you don't have health, you don't have economic wealth either. And these two cards sitting side by side tell me that. I also feel that Russia is amplifying things. As we know, it's good to see that Facebook and Google and other platforms are taking down any posts that actually incite protests to finish lockdowns or to end lockdowns. Look, the bottom line is everybody is anxious that these people. We have to look at things. We have to put ourselves in their shoes. These people are anxious about the future. They're anxious about the financial downturn, about losing their jobs. Now we have the Queen of Wands coming in, which is interesting because that is a movement. That is the movement toward wanting to open up, but it's also the movement toward what it will take to heal and move on from this virus. So I'm feeling that they are being deceived with this Seven of Swords card, and it is for very, very. In some cases, not all, these governors are picking up on the anxiety. They want to send their people back to work. They're conscious of their economies taking a nosedive. They're being very, very short-sighted. With that Four of Swords there, their numbers are going to rise. And this is what people will ultimately think, is that ultimately they will feel like they've been deceived. Okay, so let's get a clarifier on this Seven of Swords. Actually, I'll just use these smaller Rider-Waite's for clarifiers. Let's get a clarifier on that Seven of Swords, because I feel that in the wash-up, when these numbers start to rise, they will feel like they've been deceived. So let's have a look at this Seven of Swords. I'll just give these tiny cards a shuffle. I can't even shuffle them. Okay, so the Seven of Swords. Show me the Seven of Swords. What is going on here? Some kind of deception, feeling like they've been lied to. The governors then, of course, when leadership then fails, they'll be passing the buck. Seven of Swords, and so we go around in that merry-go-round. Seven of Swords. Show me the Seven of Swords. Yeah, okay, so we've got battle weary now. These governors are protecting their jobs. They want victory at the next election. It's a very short-sighted approach. They want to keep the Democrats out. Here we've got our King of Cups, and we've got our Queen of Wands, which showed up. So they are very mindful of Trump's polling numbers as well. They want to appeal to those voters that they feel put them in power, but they're doing so by deceiving them. They're not telling them the truth. I'm sure that these governors understand the advice from the experts, the scientists and the health experts. So something is not adding up here. Four of Swords. They're not acting in the best interest, obviously, of their constituents. Show me this Four of Swords, please. Show me this Four of Swords. Show me the Four of Swords. Yeah, the truth. Unfortunately, people are going to have to, the numbers are going to have to go up before people actually understand the truth. And we've got the Nine of Pentacles. They're wanting their freedom, but this virus is taking it away. They feel like this virus is taking it away. They're going to have to, I guess, defend themselves as well as those numbers start to rise. Yeah, they're being deceived. Here's double validation, the Seven of Swords. They're being deceived. Those numbers will rise. And at the end of the day, we've got leadership that has abused their power. And if this is one thing this is going to do is actually send them more toward voting in a Democrat at the end of the day than it will to protect these governors, because those numbers, make no mistake, those numbers are going to rise. I keep saying you can't argue with this virus. You might be arguing right now with it, but you can't. You can't. All right, let's have a look at, those numbers I feel are going to rise. There is some deception going on. It is a political move. There is genuine worry about their economies, and there is genuine will to try and get people back to work. That is there as well. but there are no simple answers here. So, do some people understand? Not understand? Do some people just not get it? How lethal this virus is. I heard it described as worse than the Spanish flu, or a cross between the Spanish flu and something else, and we don't know how this virus actually works yet. Okay, so do they not understand those people that put themselves, into crowds without masks? They gather, not worried. Some of them are even saying, "I'm willing to die for the freedom of my state and my country." And what's going on here? Do they not understand just how dangerous this virus is? The high priest. Okay, that's government. It's an interesting card. It's almost like their own governments for so long, for so many years, have pretty much either led with this kind of view, this kind of that they feel like it's the norm. They can't. It's like there's another reality. It's like they're living in a different reality. All right, do people not understand, those people that want opening up of things perhaps too soon? Do they not understand how lethal this virus is? Why do these people do what they do? Do they not understand how lethal this virus is? It hasn't touched them yet. Is the lesson that I'm getting. The Ten of Cups. It hasn't touch their families yet, and their leaders are saying it's okay to open up, and so they're going with leadership. This is all around leadership. Unfortunately, this is another lesson that is coming. Just as Trump was a lesson in 2016, this is another lesson as well. The challenge, of course, is abundance, the Empress card, but this is also the damage that Russia has wrought. Russia, the Republicans, fertilizing this, alt-right winged views, encouraging them. This is all as a result. This is more of what you saw in 2016, what you've seen over the last 3 years. The Emperor card. They are looking to Donald Trump. These are Trumpsters. They're looking to their leaders, not just Trump, but the governors who are also Trumpsters. They're looking to their leaders and they're saying it's okay, therefore it must be okay. The Ace of Cups in the past, in some way, enough of us want a new start. And so from a spiritual point of view, change is occurring. But there's also very high emotion in these red states, very, very high. And there's a volatility as well to that. Let's have a look at the potential. I keep getting the Queen of Wands. So, at some point, after the dust has settled, after the unfortunately lives have been lost that didn't need to be lost, we'll have a new kind of movement forward. So these governors can expect backlash. I do have the Karma card here. The Karma card. In the Witch's Tarot, they do have a card called Karma. This is akin, I think, to the Judgment card, the Karma card. So there is a karma about this. There is karma is cause and effect, and it's what goes around comes around. It's like, you do action A, you'll get action B as a result. I do feel that the karma is for the leaders here and for Trump in 2020. Right now we've got this beautiful energy of new starts, and I'm seeing a lot of fire here. So I'm not on the ground in America, but I do feel that there is traction there for change, for a change of leadership, and there's strong traction, and it's probably stronger than what you think. There is over 60% of people that do want to be locked down to eradicate the virus and then open up. It's not a majority that want to break the lockdown. The Knight of Wands. So yeah, this is growing a growing mood for change. So the politics of the past, the exploiting of self-interest, or the self-interest, of the past, not even the exploitation, but the self-interest of the past, just aren't going to work in this situation. The Lovers card in the hopes and fears, they've put their, this is a Gemini energy, but it's also Trump. They have put their card and their faith. Sorry, they put their faith in not just Trump but the Republican Party. So let's have a look at the outcome. The Knight of Cups. This is something that will be offered to them. What will be offered? The Knight of Swords. That's a harsh truth. And then having to work together with somebody, within groups to try and fix something. So even though the numbers will grow higher, even though this is not going to work too well for those red states, even though they will have to face a harsh truth, there will be help for them. There will be a helping hand for them when these numbers increase, which is nice to see. But at the base of the pack, we do have deception. We do have lies and deception, and this is coming from Trump. This is coming from Trump and the Republican Party. The Nine of Pentacles. We've got money here, but this is also freedom and independence. And we've got the Four of Wands, which is my card for the Democrats. So there's a really heavy political aspect to this, and the government. There could be something here with that Seven of Wands that keeps. And I don't want to go too far down this track, but I'm seeing the Moon card. Something's hidden from our view. This could also be some kind of movement. Let's just keep going. We've got the Truth here. Let's just ask now. I don't want to worry people, but common sense is going to tell you that these short-term political gains. Is there something more sinister in this move? Show me that Seven of Wands. What is Trump's longer-term agenda in trying to open up these states in the middle of the virus? Let's just put it like that. What is Trump's longer-term agenda here? What is Trump's longer-term? Is he trying to sow chaos? Is Trump trying to sow chaos? What's Trump's longer-term agenda? What's Sideshow Don's longer term agenda? I'm just reminded of the many Stephen King books that I've read. And he puts these sideshows into his books. These evil type of characters that make these aggressive plays for domination. But show me, what is Trump's real agenda? Can you show me that, Spirit? Show me Trump's real agenda. Page of Cups. That's a surprising news. It's like a bombshell. There's some kind of emotional aspect to what we're going to hear. This is the Sun card, which is the virus, but it's so bright. That card, metaphorically or metaphysically, is actually hurting my eyes. So something is going to be illuminated to us that is going to answer this question. Okay. The High Priestess came up again. It's talking about the government being a higher source, executive authorities even, his executive powers, because we've got the Ten of Wands. This is around addressing his downfall, which really ultimately occurred in March. We were all saying the Ides of March. Well, the Ides of March was the virus. The virus is here. There is some kind of surprising news that will come out. It's in relation to this question. It could be his use of executive authority. This is around winning. This is around the election as well. Oh, God. This is around the election. Okay. winning the election. There is some kind of illusion here. Illusion, delusion. Yeah. Look, he is battle weary now. He's embattled, basically. He knows what the opinion polls are showing. We've got the disappointment here. That's the environment. He's disappointed. He's battle weary. But we've got the Six of Wands. Now, the Nine of Pentacles, independence, freedom, money, resources, and we've got the Magician, unfortunately. He's actualizing something into reality. Okay. What is it? Well, it's not going to work because we've got the King of Cups now telling me that the Magician is Sideshow Don's political rival is Joe Biden, or whoever's going to be the Democratic leader, most likely Joe Biden. And we've got victory here. Okay, and the Queen of Swords, we've got Pelosi. Let's have a look. The Two of Pentacles, juggling the economy. We've got the Six of Coins, loans and debts, giving and receiving help. Standing his ground, waiting for his ship to come in, and there are secrets here. We have the secrets, and we've got the whipping up of partisanship, and it is a plan for the future. So I feel in some way Trump is doing this to, I don't know if it's to, I'm not thinking that he would want to declare martial law, but whatever he's doing, it's not going to work. He's doing it beyond just winning in 2016. He's actively driving partisanship. That's his strategy. In the middle of this virus, he's actively driving violence, partisanship. He's whipping that up, creating an enemy that he can fight, take advantage of in the middle of this virus. We know all that. Let me ask if will martial law be declared? Because that's where you want me to go. Whatever he's trying to do is not going to work. It's actually going to backfire. That's what I'm seeing. All right, because he's not in the majority. This isn't 2016. The majority isn't with him. Okay, not that they were with him in 2016 either. But he doesn't have anywhere near the majority of support to pull something like this off. Show me, and because I had Pelosi there, I had the government being retained, being stable. I didn't see the downfall of the government. Okay, is Trump going to introduce martial law? Is Donald Trump going to introduce martial law? Donald Trump going to introduce martial law? Three of Swords is the signifier card. Yeah. So we're seeing the virus here and what could potentially play out in the US if these states don't tread very carefully. We do have temperance and balance as the foundation of the reading. So I'm feeling that it's not going to work, whatever his plan is. He's certainly formulating some kind of plan in relation to this. This is something that in his Sideshow Don's mind, that it is what he would perhaps not like to do. It's what he's actually spoken about, I feel. Yeah, the Knight of Cups, an offer. This unfortunately came up in the last reading. An offer. Well, let's see what that is about. The Knight of Wands, though, again, that's a movement. That's the Democrats, I guess, marching forward. The Ace of Pentacles, we still have money associated with this. What's going on? What is going on? The Ten of Pentacles. He seems to be making money from this in some way. The environment is big business, big donors. This is people getting rich from something. The shadow side is the fear. This is the Devil card. Temptation, greed, avarice. There's something around money. I think he would like to, absolutely, he would like to declare martial law. But we've got the Hermit, which is lockdown, it's introspection, and we've got the Six of Swords, moving on and healing. So I'm not feeling that a declaration of martial law would work. We've got Seven of Wands at the base, of course, defending oneself, standing one's ground, and victory. And of course, we have this in the middle of anxiety. But we also have justice. We've also got justice. So I don't feel that he could declare martial law. I'm just going to do a clarifier on these two cards, the Fool card and the Knight, because the Knight has come up in previous readings. That's an offer of something. Now that could be, when things are so grim, even Republicans might be turning toward the Democrats. But this could also be Donald Trump offering a way out of a disintegrating situation. Coming forward as the person who's going to fix things. It's just sitting so closely to this Seven of Swords. There's some kind of deceit going on here. Show me this Knight of Cups. 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 Okay, so we have the Eight of Pentacles. I think this is getting back to work. Could be balance, temperance, healing. Okay, the Hermit, lockdown. Yeah, the Page of Cups. There's going to be some kind of offer, some news. Yeah, okay. The tarot is taking me to his tax returns and the Supreme Court cases and the investigations. We're going to see. We're going to see before too long. I feel before we even get to the election, because I've got the Ten of Swords and I've also got the King of Cups, which is the alternative to Sideshow Don, and that energy is coming very, very quickly, because we have the Moon card, which is the secrets, and we've got a revelation on those secrets. So I'm feeling that before he can even get there, we've got justice being done here. Let's take a look at this Fool. It's this new start. So is his plan actually going to come to fruition? Because I'm feeling, I've got a strong sense of deja vu here. I'm feeling I've either said this or read on this in the past, but I'm feeling I should tell you it's not going to work. Okay, so we've got the Lovers card. The Lovers. Show me this Fool regarding martial law. Show me this Fool regarding martial law. No, it's not going to work. The Star of Hope, keeping your thoughts positive. And we've got the Three of Cups, that's circles of support. And we've got the Democrats card. No, it's not going to work. Not going to work at all. I do feel though that there is a plan. There is a plan for it. He somehow thinks that this would show strong leadership, but I don't think he could bring it forward. Like, there is the rule of law in America. So in some way, justice is going to catch up to him before he can execute any sort of plan. All right, one last question. Do we need to be? Now, again, as I said, Singapore has very aggressively treated this virus. It wasn't in full lockdown, but very aggressive in other ways, and its numbers are now spiking. Let's have a look. Australia, I think, has is talking about almost eradicating the virus. I don't necessarily think that it can be just yet in the near future, but it's certainly something to aim for. Do lockdowns work? Do very strict lockdowns work, keeping the virus to manageable levels, not overrunning your health systems, striking some kind of balance between allowing movement and freedom, but not putting people in harm's way? Do lockdowns work against this virus? Do lockdowns work against this virus? Four of Cups, there is going to be some disappointment. The Nine of Cups, the Wish card, the Miracle card. This is a fairly serious situation. It's not the time for, you know, wishes, just wishing this virus away. It's not going to go away like that. The Page of Swords. Lockdowns probably don't work because not enough people actually obey a lockdown. Or when I say obey, the spy in the camp. There are many people that are not isolating. Control is in the past, but it's also Donald Trump. I feel that they get to a level where they can work, but when lockdowns are relaxed, we keep getting this wake up call with the Truth card there. Four of Wands, we've got community, we've got celebration. To a certain extent, they will allow. Lockdowns are the only way to manage this, and government control. Unfortunately, allowing trusting leaders to make those decisions. The environment around. I think people people will be allowed to work, but it could even be, we need to be in this lockdown type of arrangement for some time to come. We've got unity. People are missing getting close. They're missing community environments. They're missing that social interaction. Do they work? Yes, restriction works. Okay, restriction. The truth of the matter with the Ace of Swords is restriction works, but we also have this abuse as well. And because we've got this Page of Swords, not enough people are, I guess, in step with each other around lockdowns, and so that is the vulnerability. Opening things up too quickly, not working together. States need to work with states. State governments need to work with federal governments. We have to go very, very slowly on this, because we've got the World card, endings and beginnings. Something major ends, and something new starts. We're in for the long haul. Restriction is the only way that we're going to manage this virus. However, restriction doesn't work unless we've got all in. So show me this Eight of Swords, this restriction card. Show me this Eight of Swords and this Ace of Swords as well. Show me the Eight of Swords. King of Pentacles. Business, the economy, the Wheel of Fortune. Things will ease in time, but in this deck it's called the Wheel of the Year. So there's no rushing this. There's no rushing this at all. If you go too quickly, that is my card for the virus. We're just going to experience loss. So it's interesting that people want to go quickly to protect the environment, but when they go too quickly, they actually harm, the economy. People want to go quickly to protect the economy, but it is the thing that is going to harm the economy. Why? Because fighting the virus in the hospitals, fighting the virus, workers getting sick, because I get a big pull to that as well, is going to cost the economy. The need to ship in resources to manage this virus in the hospitals, all of the evidence that we've seen. The only thing that is going to work is restriction, and it's not a short-term measure. It's not a short-term measure. So the director of the WHO has actually come out, and that they are embattled, and has said we've not seen the worst of this yet. So he's warning, and I think that his warning is extending, to places like those red states, because they know what is likely to happen when restriction is eased prematurely. All right, show me the future The future of the Who. Show me that, just a few cards. The future of the Who. Show me the future of the Who. Yeah, difficult decisions that are needing to be made, heavy burdens. The Queen of Cups, support, nurturing, also revelations. There are decisions that are going to be made. Keeping your thoughts positive. That's interesting. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Because enough people are with this Five of Cups, and I see that on social media. Just the anxiety and how the anxiety is manifesting. I keep pulling the Karma card, unfortunately. So it's like we've got to equalize. There's something that we need to equalize. Even our chaos and our dissension and our division needs to be equalized. And until we do that, till we all come together, this virus is teaching us one hell of a lesson. So I hope that you are staying well. I have seen other readers who have lost family. Love and light to those that have, or those that are suffering as a result of this virus. There is only one way forward, and that is restriction, whether we like it or not. But there is always more than one option. So in relation to getting back to work, I feel that there is innovation that we can draw on there, and we are already doing that, working from home, telecommuting. I have people have asked me about my hair. Is it being cut? I'm lucky enough to have a mobile hairdresser that comes in a gown and a mask, and I wear my mask, and she cuts my hair. So there are ways and means around things. There are online concerts, online art exhibitions. A lot of social interaction is now going on online. I just think we're in for a little bit more of a lockdown than what we want at the moment. It's not over yet. All right, I'm going to leave that there. I hope that reading has been useful for you. Thank you for tuning in. Also, thank you again for everybody that posted comments regarding my Oracle deck. It was very, 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 very well received. Thank you so much again.